Let's see how this looks over here then. Alright. Camera looks like it's in a good place. Let's go ahead and tweet it out then. So that people know that I am live right now. Well, let me look at something else on Twitter too. Considering nobody's here right now. Alright. Either way, if you're seeing this on YouTube, well, actually, what the fuck am I saying? You guys will see this on YouTube after the fact, so if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for subscribing to the channel, thank you for checking this out, hit the like button, and you guys know all that already. If you want to chat with me live while I'm playing Knights of the Old Republic on my playthrough of it, while I'm live doing it, come follow the Twitch channel of Drew_dat_games with 2 S's at the end to chat with me while I'm live and all of that. And with that being said, there is one last thing I do want to say. In my community, one thing reigns supreme above all else: free speech. So, with that being said, you're welcome to say whatever you want to me. So, with that in mind, let's get going here with episode 5 of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, come with me now on a journey to the savage days of years gone by.
I'm trying to do this right now.
When 2 combatants entered the arena and only 1 came out alive. They're illegal. They're banned. They've been outlawed for nearly 10 years. But we've got one for you tonight. A good old-fashioned death match. In this corner, a living legend. A man whose very name would make his opponents shake in their boots. If any of them were still alive. Out of retirement for one last battle. Bendik Starkiller! And who would be crazy enough to step into the ring with such a lethal legend? Who would be mad enough to face almost certain death merely for your enjoyment? Ladies and gentlemen, feast your wondering eyes on the mysterious stranger. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let the death match begin!
There we go. Just grenade the motherfucker till he's
It's over.
dead.
The fight is over. Bendak Starkiller is down. Bendak Starkiller is dead. All hail the mysterious stranger, the greatest duelist to ever grace the rings of Terrace.
This is great. You beat Bendik. You're a legend. Whenever anyone asks, I can say I was the first duelist the mysterious stranger ever beat in the ring. I'm gonna be famous.
I don't think you had a chance against Bendik, but you sure showed me. You showed us all. Too bad your career as a duelist is over now. I mean, nobody's gonna be stupid enough to go up against you anymore. Not even Twitch. Kind of funny, isn't it? You win the big match, and you kill your career.
It was that or die.
Congratulations, stranger. I never thought anyone would beat Starkiller. Did you know it was because of him that I became a duelist in the first place? As a little girl, I used to dream of meeting him one day. When I finally did, the guy was a complete slime ball. Made me realize I had to be cold and ruthless to survive. Like him. And now, he's dead. There's probably a lesson in there somewhere. Something for me to think about, at least. Congratulations again, stranger. And goodbye.
You're good, stranger. Maybe even as good as Bendak in his prime. There's no shame in losing to you. But
I
when you
just
beat
beat
me, I
him.
realized it was just Twitch I could
Oh
beat.
dear.
Now it's you and Twitch. Pretty soon there'll be another young hotshot clawing past me in the rankings. This game's been good to me, but my time is done. I need to get away from the duel rings for a while. Think things over. Goodbye, stranger. I wish you all the best.
So we can heal up the quick way. Or at least I can. I can't remember if I did this or not.
Welcome to my medical facility. I even have a cure for the rat ghoul disease now, thanks
Yeah, I
to you.
did. Okay.
With the sample you've brought me, I've been able to extract hundreds of vials that will cure this horrible affliction. Of course, I sell them at a very reasonable price, just enough to cover the cost of processing the sample. Goodbye, and good.
Move mission. Karth. Let me just check my journal. Gotta click the bounty on that. Okay. Looks like I still have to get into the Volker base, I guess. I think. But I thought I did that already. Yeah, I did do that. I'm pretty sure. It's been like months since I've done another one of these, so can't really remember what I did last time. Should have watched my past video of it first. I think that's about to be irrelevant soon. Alright, so that I'm pretty sure is done. Let me just check on one thing first. Complete a quest, Bennex Bounty, Dual Ring, Promised Land. Okay, so I did do that. Serum inside. Okay, yeah. So all that there is to do is this then. Is go get Bastila then. And get off this fucking planet. Alright, so I did do all of that. Okay. I was hoping that was the case.
You have returned. You have the... I was beginning to wonder if you would make it. The race is tomorrow, and my mechanics need time to install the prototype into the swoop engine of our bike.
I've lived up to my end of the deal.
Don't worry. I'm a man of my word. I promised you could ride in the swoop race under the Hidden Beck banner, and I'm still going to let you do that. And I'm even going to go one better. I'm going to let you ride the swoop bike with the prototype accelerator installed on it. Without it, you won't stand a chance.
Gadden, you can't be serious. We need one of our best riders on that bike. We can't let some rookie take the prototype engine into the race.
Why are you doing this again then?
There's a reason I'm letting you take the prototype engine. The accelerator is unstable. There's a good chance it could explode during the race. I can't ask one of my own riders to take the risk. They'll be running unmodified swoops in the race. You'll be the only one using the prototype. If you can complete the track before the accelerator overheats, then you'll win for the Becks. If you die, then one of my other riders could still come through for me.
Sounds like you've got all your bases
You
covered,
don't
pal.
get to be leader of a swoop gang if you don't know how to work all the angles.
Alright, I'm ready to go.
Here. The mechanics need time to install the accelerator on the engine, so you won't be able to practice your riding. But I've got good instincts, and you have the look of a racer about you. Just try to relax, and in the morning we'll take you to the swoop track.
Sure, tell me how it's done. Doesn't matter to me. Okay, let's get started then. I will let you down. There we go. This first round, I'm going to take it easy and not going to try too hard, so I don't make it really hard on myself later. 34 seconds, alright. Nearly 35.
Ina
34.70. So we just barely beat the time. 34.7 I gotta beat, alright. No problem there. Twenty 24.01.
Ubapatu Kochi, Tom Nombong Shang Nung Yang, Tom Katok Smaktelia, Kuyabi Juskuna Chikanai, Ina Kuma Marura Chikuni, Slimo Padona, Mundi Hadonga Chikonkabi, Chiska du Suki Kuba, Nabona Naikachu, Tuinkotu, Topada Bunkwalya Gandonago Chuchut, Kabachi Kuita Hadonga, Yalamo Inkatun, Jiloba Mulirani Bobo, Wango Kumbeska Gang, Bamamarulira.
People, hear me! Before I present the so-called champion of the Becks with their prize, there is something you must know. The winning rider cheated.
Well, you would have if I hadn't, so...
Your swoop bike was using a prototype accelerator. Clearly an unfair advantage. Because of this hidden Beck treachery, I'm withdrawing the Vulca's share of the victory prize.
Jawanabota Ayuata Honga Chakanki Dora, Kachikuita Hodonga, Topada Bunkwalya Gando Donago Chuchut, Musha Papampa, Bolawana Chitne, Bamuli Slemo, Bodawanga, Kunbes Mulira Rabes.
You old fool. Your traditions are nothing to me. I am the wave of the future. If I want to withdraw the prize and sell this woman on the slave market myself, nobody can stop me.
I might have something to say about that, Brejik.
What? Impossible. You were restrained by a neural disruptor. How could you have possibly summoned the will to free yourself?
You underestimate
The Force, dumbass.
Jedi's mind, Brejik. A mistake you won't live to regret.
Vulcus, to me! Kill this woman! Kill the swoop rider! Kill them all!
They never fucking learn. There we go.
Well, maybe those bloody Vulcans will think twice next time before trying to keep a Jedi prisoner. And as for you, if you think you can collect me as a prize... Wait, I don't believe this. You're one of the soldiers with the Republic fleet, aren't you? Yes, I'm sure of it. How did you end up racing for these swoop gangs?
It's a long story.
time for it now. We have to get out of here before the Sith show up to sort out this mess. Is there somewhere safe we can go?
I got somewhere safe to go. I was planning to take you there after I saved you from Berzik.
Save me? Is that what you were trying to accomplish by riding in that swoop race? Well, as far as rescues go, this is a pretty...
Women's lib.
In case you hadn't noticed, I managed to free myself from that neural restraint collar without your help. In fact, it's more accurate to say that I saved you. Brezhik and his Volkers would have left you for dead if I hadn't stepped into that fight. You're lucky I was here to get you out of this mess.
I didn't need your help with those Volkers. I can handle myself, thank you.
I suppose you can. Well, I appreciate your attempt to save me, even if it didn't really go as you planned. But let's get down to business. We're not out of danger yet. If I'm going to figure out a way for us to get off this planet, I need to know what kind of resources we can draw on. First, are we the only two survivors left from the Ender Spire?
Karth and I are already working on a plan to... No. We aren't the only survivors. Karthonasi is alive as well.
Karthonasi is alive? Finally, some good news. Karth is one of the Republic's best soldiers. He's proved himself a hero a dozen times over. And he sent you here to save me. Maybe I misjudged you. Karth wouldn't have sent you if he wasn't confident in your abilities. Forgive me. Despite my Jedi training, I still tend to act a bit rashly sometimes. Please, take me to Karth right away. Between the three of us, I'm sure we can figure out some way to get off this planet before the Sith realize we're here.
That's better.
You cannot win, Revan.
If you guys are watching this on YouTube, the reason that I'm only interacting with the game and no one in the chat here live on Twitch is because there's nobody here. So I can only interact with you guys if you guys are here, so
What have you been doing all this time?
while I'm live. For you guys on YouTube after the fact, comment your thoughts on KOTOR and Star Wars and whatever in the comments section on YouTube. We're trying to find you, remember, Bastila?
Now that I'm back in charge of this mission, perhaps we can start doing things properly. Hopefully our escape...
Arrogant Jedi Princess.
...when you rescued me from Brezhik.
I know you're new at this, Bastila, but a leader doesn't berate her troops just because things aren't going as planned. Don't let your ego get in the way of the real issues here.
That hardly strikes me as an appropriate way of addressing your commander, Karth. I am a member of the Jedi Order, and this is my mission. Don't forget that. My battle meditation ability has helped the Republic many times in this war, and it will serve us well here, I'm sure.
Your talents might win us a few battles, but that doesn't make you a good leader. A good leader would at least listen to the advice of those who have seen more combat than she ever will.
Both you settle down, this is not helping.
Yes, you're right, of course. I apologize, Karth. This has been a difficult time for me. Of course, I'm happy to listen to your advice. What do you suggest we do?
First off, we can't get hung up on who's in charge. We all need to work together if we want to get off this rock. The answer is out there, we just have to find it.
Well said, Karth. And the sooner we start looking, the better. I've already been a prisoner of the Volkers, and I don't plan on being captured by the Sith.
Don't worry, I won't let that happen. Or, okay, so what now? I'm gonna go with that.
I think we'll need some help getting off Terrace. Maybe if we ask around, one of the locals can help us out. We should probably start by asking around in the cantinas. Is something wrong? You seem as if something...
Something weird happened when we first met, like a vision.
A vision of what?
Of you fighting a Dark Jedi. Revan, I guess? Yeah, it was Revan.
Strange. Such visions are often a sign of force sensitivity.
Are you saying I can use the Force? Or Force sensitivity? What do you mean? Yeah.
It may be that you have some connection to the Force. It would not be unheard of. When we first met, your natural talent may have fed off my own Force abilities. It is possible that in the excitement of the battle's aftermath, the Force allowed you to witness one of my more intense memories.
Hey Jedi, just popping in to say hi. I gotta go, but have an amazing stream, bud. Thank you so much for even popping in, Jedi. So, have yourselves a great rest of your selves. Have yourself a great rest of your day too, Jedi. And once again, thank you for just popping in to say hi. I appreciate it. This isn't the first time I've had a vision. That's for sure. And I hosted, by the way. Thank you so much for the host too, Jedi. I appreciate that and everything that you do. So, but then again, I would appreciate you even if you didn't, even if you weren't hosting the stream. So.
We can't afford any distractions. We need to find a way off Taris.
That's right, I did take all that. Let me see if I can modify anything first. And nothing we can do there till we go to Tatooine, or Dantooine. This is the prototype sword that I have. Alright. Missions, sword can have that as well. Any armor. I believe Karth is wearing that. Index blaster, which I'm going to be using. Karth's blaster. Get some upgrades as well. You can't do anything with Zelbar's bowcaster for the time being. That's fair. Ah, fuck. Forgot about this earlier. Biggles is live. Yeah, yes, I know Biggles is live. Come on. So I can see if anyone new follows. Most recent new follower was Radio, which I appreciate very much. And before that was Cousin Nico, who recently started streaming on his channel again for the first time in like forever, apparently. And Chaos Killer and Phil and Biggles, who is currently live right now playing Back for Blood as well. But aside from all that, let me just first switch to the new blaster. Bastila's coming with here. And Karth, I guess, as well. That auto-saved there. So we should be good for the time being. So, either him and you're the rider who won the Great Swoop Race in Lower City, yes? Yeah, that's right. Kander Sordo. Alright.
Chun kun mek mulira best.
He's the Mandalorian that works for Davik.
Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ay donga. Tulpada bonk molya gando danago chuchut. Moga shampumpa. Bolawana chikni. Wanga kun bist mulira best. Tonga ay tuam jiji yumalit pa ang inkotu. Tulbada bunk walya gando danago chuchut. Kachi chu ay haudonga. Yumalit ka inkotun. Chilo mulira de bobo. Unka kun biskang. Bamulara.
Alright. Was just giving Jedi Knight Lego a follow over there on Jedi's channel. Thanks for the message. I'll go meet with him in the cantina.
King kun shachi king, ni king kun oba mulira jikun, wama kun bes, chin palamuji, tunira no prata dunko, sercha domandoma.
Okay, Bastila is leveling up. Oops. Whoops, I need to give her her blaster too. Or her lightsaber, I should say. There we go. We don't have anything else going, so we're going right for Candace in the cantina.
How can I help?
You wanted to talk to me about
I'd
something?
like to know what happened after you crashed on Taurus. I'm curious as to what you and Karth were doing before we all joined forces.
We were looking for you.
Yes, I realize that, of course. But surely there was more to it than a simple search. I doubt there were flashing signs pointing you in my direction, yet somehow you found me. You also avoided detection by the Sith, discovered I was a Vulcan prisoner, gained sponsorship for the race, and became the Taurus Swoop champion. That's quite a resume.
I had a lot of help, Karth Mission and Zabar.
Your modesty is admirable. But though others helped, you were the catalyst for these events. When you were chosen to join this mission, I doubt any of us expected this much from you. A Jedi could have done such things, of course, but only by drawing heavily upon the Force.
Are you trying to say I can control the Force?
The Force is in all of us. The For most people, it's barely a measurable whisper. But there are some individuals outside the Jedi Order that we consider Force-sensitive. It's obvious to me that the Force has been working through you. There is no other explanation for your great success. Though I'm not certain what to make of this discovery. Perhaps if you weren't... well, if you were younger, the Jedi might take you for training. But as it is...
What exactly are you saying, Bastila?
I've overstepped my authority. I'm speaking of things that are best left to the Jedi Council. For now, let's just accept the fact that you're gifted. Hopefully, between your abilities, my Jedi training, and the skills of our companions, we can find a way off this planet.
I saw you in the swoop race. Very impressive. You seem like you know how to get results. That's just the kind of person I'm looking for.
Who are you?
My name's Canderous Ordo. I work for
Even though I
Dark
already know the
Jedi.
answer to that question.
The hours aren't great, but they promised me a fortune to work for them. And I have nothing better to do. Mandalorian mercs like me are in high demand. But lately, Davik hasn't been paying me what he promised. I don't like getting cheated. So I figured it's time to break the Sith quarantine and off this
Fuck.
backwater planet.
How do you plan to do that, Candace?
I've got a plan to escape Taris, but I can't do it alone. I need someone I know can get the job done to help me. That's where you come in.
Careful. Mercs like this have a liquid conscience. They'll betray you in a heartbeat. This could be a trap.
I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to your friend, aren't I? I saw you win that swoop race and started thinking, anyone crazy enough to race like that is probably crazy enough to break into the Sith military base. I need someone to steal the Sith launch codes from the base. Without those codes, any ship leaving the atmosphere will be disintegrated by the Sith fleet's automated defense guns.
What is in it for me?
Here's the deal. You bring me those launch codes, and I can provide the vehicle to get us off the planet. Davik's flagship, the Ebon Hawk.
How are you gonna manage that?
Yeah. First you bring me the launch code. Then I'll tell you the rest of my plan.
How do you how do you expect me to get into the military base?
Getting in won't be easy. The Sith base is protected by an encrypted security system. It would take a top-of-the-line astromech droid to slice through it. Lucky for you, I know just the place to get a droid like that. Davik was having one custom built by Janice Nall. Just tell her Canderous sent you, and she'll sell you the droid. Then you can use it to get the launch codes from the Sith base.
Won't Davik get mad if I take his droid?
Davik paid for the droid, but I'm the guy he put in charge of the mission. He won't care how I come up with those codes. Normally I'd do this myself, but everyone knows who I work for. If I broke into the Sith base, they'd send an army down on Davik's estate to get those codes back. That's why I need you.
Alright, you got a deal, because there's no other way to do this.
I don't sense any deception from him, which is surprising. This may be exactly what we need.
I'm going to wait in Javier's cantina. You come and find me when you've got the launch codes, and I'll make sure we both get off the
Fuck. Yeah. We're gonna go fetch that droid then. How many credits do I have? $5,750. Alright.
Vulkars managed to capture a famous Jedi like you? Were you knocked out when your escape pod crashed?
No, I was conscious. But my force powers were exhausted from using my battle meditation in the battle for the Ender Spire. Without my help, you might have never gotten off the ship alive.
Fair enough. But I've seen you Jedi in action. There's no way those thugs could have stood a chance against your lightsaber.
My lightsaber was misplaced. I couldn't find it after the crash. I looked everywhere in that pod. The Vulkars came and overwhelmed me even as I was searching for my weapon.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You lost your lightsaber? I mean, isn't that a violation of some kind of Jedi code or something?
Leave her alone, Karth.
This is no laughing matter. During the crash, my lightsaber must have fallen from my belt and rolled under my seat. The Vulkars probably found it there when they searched the wreckage.
Hey, don't get mad. I'm sorry. It's just funny to think of a legendary Jedi losing her lightsaber. Take my advice. Detail you might want to keep out of the history texts.
I hardly consider myself a legend, Karth. Though I will consider your advice when I relate these events to the Jedi Council. There is no need for them to know every detail of what transpired.
Either way, we got work to do.
Shi kakachin awana wamata. Nishi la chorga kin kun pala mona reji. Ching pala niska mule tun rata tigin potranko. The searcha doma wana kondatama. With him and bo rank thong. Mule ra on shadforing ni patoga wanga chonzi tse. Ika krotu hakujije. Watu yama kama wana henak nek.
Kender said you'd sell me T3M4.
Mokao danya foki. Chachiska do punta kakaspaka. Bano oto.
Here you go.
Tinku ukaba. Topano aska. Chinisko ne akaba abaka.
Let's get going then. Let's get these codes and get off this planet. And then once we've gotten to Dantooine, probably call it a stream at that point, because I don't expect anyone else to watch at this point, considering it's been almost an hour and there's only Jedi Knight has come and gone. Sure. At this point.
Kavadumpa kapalia monapata. Bonanakachu. Yin kin kun no. Kin kun shi kakachin awana wamata. Nishi la. Bonanakachu. Kicha badwang. Wanga kum kiba bu mulerat.
Your lightsaber really can't deal with that guy? Okay. She's Bastila. Alright, that's helpful.
What can I do?
Alright, we just did a lot of hacking now. That was easy. Alright, that didn't go too badly. Gonna save it here before I attempt to try to save this guy. Alright. There we go. Success. Thank God for that. Oh, fuck. Come on, you stupid machine. God damn it. I hate my computer sometimes. There we go. It went to sleep on me. Nothing there.
What can I do?
Sure.
There we go. Oh, I believe I'm gonna need my sword. Up here.
Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shock. Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shock. Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shock. Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shock. Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shock. Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shock.
Who dares to break my meditation? You will pay for interrupting my... Wait. I sense the Force is strong with you. Very strong. Who would have thought a Force adept could be found on this insignificant planet? But your talent is no match for a disciple of the dark side.
Turn away from the dark side. It will only lead you to anything but destruction.
Spoken like a true drone of the Jedi Council. We Sith, however...
I don't think I sounded like a drone of a council. I sounded like I wasn't sure myself.
What gives us strength. This meeting is a stroke of luck for me. My master will surely reward me with my lightsaber once I kill you.
Well, you're gonna have to be successful first, pal. Get over here. There we go. There's the codes. Get that all dealt with. Yep. So we can get back to full health again. Now let's get the hell off the planet. And as I said earlier, that will be the end of this episode, which will be going up to YouTube, and the end of the stream. So if I have anyone watching at that point, I will raid Biggles Mets if he's still alive at that point. We shall see. Or if anyone else goes live by then, we'll raid them. However, if no one else is here, then there's no sense in raiding at that point when it's just me. So although I'm getting really warm right now too, so there's a fair chance that I may call it once I get to Davik's place. But we'll see, because it's been about an hour.
I figured you'd be back. Neither of us is getting off this planet unless we work together. Now, I know the Sith military base had a break-in, and I know it was you. I know you've got those departure codes I need. So what do you say? We join forces, and I can get you inside Davik's base, and right to the Ebon Hawk. We can go right now.
Alright, let's go.
Davik's always looking to recruit new talent. I'll tell him how you won that swoop race and mention that you're interested in working for the exchange. I'll say I brought you in so he could check you out. He'll have you stay at his estate for a couple of days while he runs some background checks on you. That's standard procedure.
This is too risky. We should find another way.
You got another plan, sister? Or are you just objecting because you didn't think of it?
No, I don't have another plan. I would rather not place my life in your hands, however.
I can say the same about you. That makes us even. Fortunately, we both want to get off this rock, right? While Davik's checking you out, we steal the Ebon Hawk and escape Taris. Come on. I've got an airspeeder nearby to take us to Davik's estate. The sooner we're off Taris, the better.
Alright.
billions of people on Terrace. We'd be slaughtering countless innocent civilians, not to mention our own men still on the surface.
Your predecessor once made the mistake of questioning my orders, Admiral. Surely you are not so foolish as to make the same mistake.
Of course not, my Lord Malik. I will do as you command, but it will take several hours to position our fleet.
Then I suggest you begin immediately. You are dismissed, Admiral.
Yes, Lord Malik.
So, Canderous, I see you've brought someone with you. Most intriguing, if I do say so myself. You usually travel alone.
It's not like you to take on partners, Canderous. You're getting soft.
Watch yourself, Callow. You may be the newest cat hound in the pack, but you aren't top dog yet.
Enough. I won't have my top two men killing each other. That's not good business. I'm sure Canderous has an explanation as to why he's not working solo anymore.
This is a special case, Davik. I ran into someone the Exchange might want to recruit. You may have heard something of their exploits already.
Ah, yes. Now I recognize your companion. The rider who won the big swoop race. Very impressive, as was your display in the rather...
And also killed Bendix Starkiller. Just another day at the office. Good to finally meet you, Davik. Or, there was nothing I couldn't handle. Yeah. Better to stay anonymous at this point.
You know, Canderous was right. The Exchange is always looking for new talent. You could have a bright future with our organization. With the recommendation from Canderous and a thorough background check,
This now?
you could become part of the Exchange. Many would
Yeah.
kill to prove themselves worthy of this honor.
That's nothing. Your offer intrigues me, Davik.
Come with me. I will give you a tour of my operation.
Just to play ball for now.
Most impressed. Ah, there she is. The Ebonhawk. My pride and joy. The fastest ship in the Outer Rim. Note the state-of-the-art security system I've had installed to protect her. The shields are completely impregnable. Nobody can get past them.
Oh dear. Impregnable.
The Sith military blockade has grounded my vessel. The Ebonhawk can outrun any vessel in the galaxy. But even she isn't fast enough to avoid the auto-targeting laser cannons of the orbiting Sith fleet. I am, of course, working on acquiring the Sith departure codes so that I may come and go as I please. However, progress has been slow. But we should continue our tour.
We're gonna have to find a way to impregnate those shields.
These will be your accommodations. The slave quarters are just down the hall. If you need anything during your stay, food, a massage, feel free to call upon their services. If all goes well with your background check, you will be invited to join the Exchange. I'd advise you to accept the offer when it comes, or suffer the dire consequences of refusal.
I'm looking forward to working with you. Not.
You will stay in these rooms as my guest for the next few days. I will not accept no for an answer. Feel free
No.
to visit the slave quarters at any time during your stay. I must warn you that if you are found anywhere outside the guest wing during your stay, or if you bother my other guests, my security forces will deal with you most harshly. I will report the investigation into your background as
Yeah.
Until then, make yourself comfortable. Come, Callow. Let us leave our guests in peace.
Okay, we're inside. Now all we have to do is figure out a way to get past the Ebonhawk security.
I'm surprised how no one hears him right now.
Planet. No sense waiting around here, though. The sooner we get off Taurus, the better.
Well, first we gotta level you up, dipshit. And now, we gotta find a way out of here. Like you were saying. pretty well. Yeah, I don't want to waste computer spikes right now. We'll just do this the old-fashioned way. That's to the hangar bay. Good job, Bastila.
Thank you. You have no idea what it was like in that torture cage. I don't know how much more I could take before going mad. I don't have anything to give you as a reward for freeing me. Nothing tangible anyway. But I've got information that could be worth a fortune. I used to be the pilot of the Ebonhawk, Davik's flagship. I know the codes to disable the security system protecting it. I'll load them onto your datapad now. You can use those codes to steal the Ebonhawk right out of its hangar. Sell it to the highest bidder, ransom it back to Davik. Whatever you do, you'll make thousands.
I'd rather keep it.
It won't be long until Davik figures out I'm free. I have to get out of this base before that happens.
We've got what we came for. We should get going.
Yep. Which we will right now.
Damn those Sith, they're bombing the whole planet. I knew they'd turn on us sooner or... Oh, look what we got here. Thieves in a hangar. So, you figured you'd just steal my ship for your getaway and leave me high and dry while the Sith turn the planet into dust? Sorry, but that ain't gonna happen.
I'll take care of them, Davik. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Make it quick, Carlo. The Sith mean business. If we don't get to our ships and find somewhere safe, The bombs they're dropping will kill us all.
You may have me outnumbered and outgunned, but if I'm going down, I'm taking all of you with me. This thermal detonator will blow us all to bits. Damn those Sith! Now bring this whole hangar down around our ears!
We're getting out of here.
Let's get this ship fired up. We'll pick up the rest of your friends and then we'll have to get off this planet.
And then once we get to Dantooine, then it's just going to be a matter of calling it a stream at that point and getting this uploaded to YouTube then.
Taris is defenseless against our assault, Lord Malak. They are offering no resistance. The city is in ruins.
Resume the bombardment, Commander. Wipe this pathetic planet from the face of the galaxy.
And so long as I see a 2 for the viewership, then I will be rating Biggles with you, whoever is watching. I don't know who you are, if you're anyone at all, because you're not saying anything in the chat, so. But whoever you are, thank you for checking this out at that point.
Plot a course for Dantooine. There's a Jedi enclave there where we can find refuge.
Incoming fighters!
Quickly, to the gun turrets. You have to hold the Sith fighters off until we get those hyperspace coordinates punched in.
Alright. Gotta deal with this before I call it a stream then. Got 1 or 2 there. Which one was that? Got one. That was a lucky shot. Got them all. Biggles Metz is raiding with a party of 8. Thank you so much for the raid. And thank you for the first time chat as well, Biggles. Thank you, Kitty Bear, as well. What's up, Biggles? Actually, I was gonna consider ending the stream, but, and then raiding you, but never mind, I'm just gonna stay live then since you guys are here now. Hello, Mr. Mazza. Yeah, now I'm gonna stay live now with a record number of 10 of you here now. So, yeah. So now that you guys are here, fuck it, I'm gonna stay live for a while longer, because I was gonna get to Dantooine and call it an episode of the Drew Play of KOTOR, which I do re-upload these to my YouTube channel, but now that you guys are here, fuck it, I'm gonna stay live then. Until someone pops up on Twitch to raid then, so. And however long that's gonna take, because I'm not working tomorrow anyway, so. I have Sundays off, so. Hey guys. I agree with Basilar, we should be safe here.
You can get supplies here and recuperate. The academy is a place of mental and spiritual healing.
Yep.
Something we could all use after what we've been through.
Initially, I had Jedi Knight Lego who popped in to say hi and then was hosting this on his channel, so I don't remember which one I liked more, 1 or 2.
Recent developments. After I've met with them, I will meet you outside the ship.
Thank you for the new follower, whoever you are. That's up to 20 now, so just broke the 20 follower mark now. Almost halfway to 50. Only 5 more to get to the halfway point. But as you were saying, Biggles, yeah, you don't remember which one you liked more, 1 or 2. This is my opinion of the Knights of the Old Republic series. Haha. We never got a 3rd one, which is bullshit. But
I've spoken briefly with the council.
1 is the best. 2 has a lot of bugs. You need a lot of mods to make it work. I will say my piece after these guys go done talking here.
Well, I don't like being left out of the loop, but I'm not looking to get you in any trouble with the Jedi Masters.
Because I have a lot of strong opinions about Star Wars, believe me. Because I was raised by an original Star Wars fan, my mother, who was there for the original one in theaters. That being the original Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so here is my opinion on the Knights of the Old Republic Series 1. From a storytelling standpoint, far superior to number 2. From a gameplay or abilities or force powers or whatever you want to call them in number 2, number 2 is better for that reason. So, for example, battle meditation in number 2 and like other force abilities that aren't in the first game. That's why certain aspects of 2 I like more than this. The characters in this game I like more than the second one. The story this game tells is a lot better than the second one as well. So couple all that together, my opinion is 1 is better than number 2, but I don't ignore 2 because there are things that I like more about that game than this one too. So that's just where I stand on the Knights of the Old Republic series. And, for the record, the Old Republic, the MMO, is not KOTOR 3. If you disagree, go fuck yourself. Sorry, I just had to say that. By the way, you guys will be very quick to learn that here on my channel, free speech means more than anything in my comment section and to me, so you guys are free to say whatever you want as far as I'm concerned.
You there, Padawan. Why are you not wearing the customary robes of the Jedi? Do you mock the honor traditions of our order?
I understand that. Yep. Sounds good, Biggles. Are you a Jedi?
My name is Belaya. I have come here to further my learning in the ways of the Force. Many Jedi come here to train under Master Jha. Any who belong to the
Star
Order
Wars
should
tour
study
was
and
fun till they
Nothing
stopped
neglecting your
making
studies,
content.
Padawan.
I agree, Kitty Bear. The last time I played it was before I moved into my current apartment, which was over 6 years ago. Because I remember playing it on my old laptop, which really wasn't made for gaming, at my old apartment that I shared with my brother before he moved to Las Vegas at the time, which he now resides in Arizona. Which next year I'm moving to Arizona myself, so to get the hell out of Minnesota. So I believe you're mistaken. I'm not a Padawan. I am Drew Starwalker. I came here with Bastila Shan. I played all the way to 50. I had the controllers edition, and I was a merc, and the game with 104 level 70 characters.
You claim you are not a Padawan?
Damn, hell yeah. Hit me up when you get to Arizona. Absolutely, Biggles. I'll let you know when I get out there. So, I assume, Biggles, that you're from Arizona too, then? By the fact that you're saying that in the chat? You're from New York, but you live in Arizona. Well, that's kind of what I was trying to get at. But yeah, once I'm out in Arizona with my family and once I'm settled there, then I fully intend to hit up anyone from the community that's in Arizona. That's now you, as well as Joshy as well. So, there are people that I will be trying to contact and be more than happy to get together and have a beer if you drink with. As well. Because there is one thing you guys will learn about me on here, is that while Jeremy says a swig of apple juice or whatever for the working man, for me it's more like a swig of rum for the working man. So, but it is what it is. I'm telling you the truth. I keep getting distracted talking to you guys right now. Great, now the stream's buffering on my end. There we go, that's better. It is only thing I miss about no longer drinking. Fair enough. We can go out for coffee if you drink coffee too at that point. Okay, I also drink coffee. But usually only in the mornings, or if I'm trying to stay up to do a stream, or stay up for after a stream to watch another stream. Or to watch several streams. Which is part of the course for Saturdays at this point. Because in the morning there's the full Aussie, which lately is as soon as I get home from work. And then other times it's ending as I get home from work. And then there's me trying to do Star Wars games on Saturday. Then on Saturday nights, there's Talk Nerdy to me as well. So there's always a lot to do on Saturdays for me outside of even work at this point. Since I work in the retail industry, so that's a clusterfuck all its own.
They're waiting for you inside.
Yeah, Karth, I know. Gonna meet with the Jedi Masters.
Rescued Bastila. It is appropriate you are here. We have been discussing your rather special case. I am Jha, a member of the Jedi Council. With me are Master Vrook, Master Vandar, and of course the chronicler of our academy, Master Dorak. Padawan Bastila, I am sure you are all...
Because they're easier to read than... Here is a joke for you. Why do many men like female comic and manga characters? Because they're easier to read than real women. There's not really anything you can say to that, because that is very accurate. Hell, I've spent most of my life as confused as my dad was when he was still alive, trying to figure out what my mom and my sister were thinking. So, and to this day, my younger brother and I still look at mom and our sister going, I don't know. What do you want from me?
Bastila tells us you are strong in the Force. We are considering you for Jedi training.
Nothing would give me greater honor than learning the ways of the Jedi. Can I learn the ways of the Grey Jedi instead? Because that sounds like more fun to me. Strong in the Force. I'm just going to say that right now.
Master Jar speaks out of turn, perhaps. We need indisputable proof.
Because as a Star Wars fan, the color of my lightsaber is orange. A blending of yellow and red together. So I hide my dark side in plain sight. And nobody notices. Until it's too late. Grey Jedi are not a thing. Well, I'm going to make them a thing. I will will the Grey Jedi into existence.
Now that this power has begun to manifest itself.
Sith is the best.
The Jedi training is long and difficult, even when working with a young and open mind. Teaching a child is hard. How much harder will it be for an adult to learn the ways of the Jedi?
I look at it this way. The Grey Jedi, yes, in canon are not a thing. But if you compare it to real life, like Disney loves to do, if you have the Jedi being conservatives, just hear me out, guys. The Sith being SJWs, libertarians are right in the middle. Libertarians see more gray than light or dark. I'm just saying. I am willing to try my best.
Traditionally, the Jedi do not accept adults for training, though there are rare exceptions in the history of our order. But you are a special case.
Sith being SJW is the most hurtful thing I have heard. Look. I can be a Sith just to kill SJWs. I just died on the inside. I didn't mean to kill you on the inside, Biggles. It's just a figure of speech. But to be fair, you are right, Biggles. That is very degrading to evil, dark fuck Sith. SJWs are far worse than Sith, I will give you that. I'm just trying to compare in ways that Star Wars fan might understand, or the Star Wars fan and me in comparison. If you really want to get down to brass tacks, Sith are honest where SJWs lie. That is true.
I can feel its power.
Maybe we libertarians are the Sith, actually. Because generally, some conservatives don't like libertarians either, on occasion.
If we pass beyond this door, we can never go back.
All is forgiven.
Surely banish us.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I agree, yeah.
Can its power truly be worth the risk?
But then again, SJWs and comparing them to a bag of garbage in the dumpster is degrading to the bag of garbage in the dumpster too. So, which bags of garbage deserve better than that too, so.
Bastila comes out looking like she saw a ghost, and now you. Well, Bastila did mention that you should go to the council chambers before she left. It's no doubt urgent, so you shouldn't keep them waiting.
21 followers now. Thank you to everyone who's been following lately. or clicking the follow button here. I appreciate every last one of you, believe me. In fact, I have a post on my Twitter which says exactly how I feel about anyone who follows me on Twitter, subscribes on either YouTube channel of Jedi Games or Jedi Entertainment, as well as follows this channel. It's basically the music video from Tom McDonald called "My Fans," and that's somewhere buried on my timeline on Facebook or Facebook. What the fuck am I talking about? Twitter. On my Twitter timeline. It's buried there somewhere, so you got to go digging for it now, because I tweet like every stream out that I watch, so. Did she say anything else?
No, she didn't. She didn't seem well, as I recall, and for that matter, neither do you. Are you all right?
I'm just distracted by the chat. What the fuck you want, dude? I had a rough night. Let's go.
You got it.
Bring Hearth and mission. And mission's gonna want to talk, I'm pretty sure. But we will level them up first. Quickly do the auto level up, and mission wants to talk, just like I said. The only time you should mention dumpster, garbage, and SJWs is on a sentence when you say, I'm burning SJWs in a dumpster, saving garbage from SJWs. That's actually really good, Kitty Bear. That's actually really good. I should write that down for the Breaking Rocks podcast on YouTube with my younger brother. That's a really good one. Because generally on Breaking Rocks on my YouTube channel of Jedi Entertainment is where I generally get more into like social commentary of our country and whatnot with my younger brother Desert Nord, who also has a YouTube channel where he does memes on it. A couple of them are about me. But then again, that's how mine and my relationship with my younger brother it is. We make fun of each other, and at the end of the day, it changes nothing between us. Because we're brothers. We're supposed to make fun of each other. Malik will pay for what he did. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, mission.
I don't really think there's anything you can say. I just have to find some way to deal with it.
And also something you guys will find out very quickly. Also about me, I love promoting other people's shit, so.
It's a shock, you know? I mean, I knew the Sith were evil
Yep.
and all, but the reality
Yep, I completely agree, Kitty Bear, but does your brother make fun of you on YouTube in public videos, though?
So don't worry about me. I'll be okay. And if you need my help against Malik or the Sith, I'll be there for you.
Alright, so we gotta go meet with the Jedi Masters again. No, yeah. My brother and I have a little more fun than we probably should with each other in our videos. Well, mostly he has fun with me and I just promote his shit. So I promote him making fun of me. Because I don't give a fuck.
Bastila has told us of a most unusual development. She claims you and she have shared...
They say that some people have thick skin. Well, I'm basically part dinosaur, I think.
These ruins have long been known to us, but we
Or anything that skin is so thick that you're gonna need a very heavy, sharp instrument to pierce it, and it's gonna take a while. Basically, the complete opposite of an SJW. Which their skin is so thin that just blowing at them would draw blood. Or just looking at them, I should say, really. Yes, they seem to be searching for something.
Bastila has described the shared...
But he did call me racist and full bear with colored people, saying that even I issued a fight 4 to 5 times a week and never fought a colored person. Have a good rest of your day, Biggles. Thank you so much for the raid, and thank you so much for checking out the stream. I appreciate you very much, my friend. And at some point, I will raid you back, because this is how I see getting raided. You raid me, I owe you a raid in return. I know people are going to disagree that I don't owe anybody anything. That's not the way I see it. You do something for me, I'll do something for you. You raid me, I will raid you. And that's not a threat, that's a promise. I appreciate you too, my friend. Thank you so much, Biggle. I'll see you in a future stream, or in one of mine. But I'll see you around, my friend. But back to what Kitty Bear said. Yeah, my brother and I don't throw the word racist at each other, other than when we're on one of our podcasts together, just joking. At that point. But that's the only time that he and I ever utter the word racist at one another is when we're on camera. Off camera, we've never said that to each other ever. Okay, here is a fact. In my native tongue, raid sounds like ass. What is your native tongue then, Kitty Bear? Because now you've puked. Fuck it. You've puked my curiosity. You've piqued my curiosity. Puked my curiosity. Frisian and Dutch. I hope I pronounced that first one right. But Dutch, I am familiar of that being a thing. So, is that in the first language or Dutch that raid sounds like ass? Because on Twitch, raiding is basically when you take your whole viewer base and you bring them all over to somebody else's stream, therefore you all raid that channel. That's generally what that is. But then again, I'm fairly certain that you're smart enough to already know that. So, I don't know why I'm explaining it. But I think it's awesome that you know multiple languages and apparently English, since you're typing it out. I'm having visions now.
You and Bastila share a powerful connection to the Force and each other. This is not unheard of. Connections often form between master and student, but rarely does a bond develop so quickly.
Whatever dangers may lie ahead, we cannot ignore the destiny that has brought you and Bastila here to us. Together.
English, Dutch, Frisian, and German. Okay, I can understand and read. Well, look at you, Kitty Bear. Aren't you very cultured then? I only know a couple words here and there of different languages, and even English, my native language, is tough. Because our language makes no fucking sense at all. As it was also pointed out to me by a fellow coworker at the store today. And I pointed out to her, yeah, I agree with you. Look at the term that air traffic controllers use, near miss. It's a near hit, gang. By the way, that's a line from George Carlin. God rest his soul. I miss the guy. Are you saying I'm joined with her?
You and she are linked, as is your fate to hers. Together, you two may be able to...
Ooh, English is easy compared to... damn Dutch. But then again, we probably have our own criticism of our own languages, but that's mine. My native language is nonsensical at times. In fact, the consensus at work today was that English is actually gibberish because it's made up of several different languages, as its influences when English was created. So we speak gibberish when we speak English. But yet, the United States understands gibberish then. Oh dear. Yes, I'm ready for whatever awaits me. We'll see what happens here.
Understand that there is little choice in this matter, for you or us. Across the galaxy, the numbers of our order dwindle.
And the only reason I say that English is tough is with me trying to read shit in chat, it's as easy for me as it is for Drunk 3PO. Almost as if I'm his son at times. I actually failed my Dutch class in... The only reason I got my paper was because of English and German averaging out to a passing grade. Yeah. That reminds me of high school. I never understood taking English class. Well, at least I don't now. Because now my point of view is, why do I have to take English? I already know how to speak it. Jedi, you're turning to the dark side? Well, yeah, they usually do.
The lure of the dark side is not
Anakin.
Malik's power grows as more and more planets fall to his conquering armies.
Count Dooku.
The Republic will fall.
And countless others.
Jedi will be hunted to extinction.
Revan Malak.
He will enter a time of darkness and tyranny, not seen for 1,000 generations.
The Council has decreed that you and Bastila
Exar Kun.
the ancient ruins you dreamed of. Once the Council deems you ready.
Perhaps there you will find some clue, some explanation of how Revan and Malak were corrupted. And perhaps there you shall find a way to stop them.
I'm ready now. I accept the mission.
The Force flows through you like no student we have ever seen. But you are willful and headstrong, a dangerous combination.
Before we send you to investigate the ruins, you must be trained in the ways of the Jedi, so that you can resist the darkness within yourself, within all of us. Otherwise, you are doomed to fail.
As you wish, Master Vendar. Or great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather of Master Yoda.
We must begin your training at once.
I assume.
Upon you that you must be prepared to face. The entire fate of the galaxy is upon you.
I can only hope you will prove up to the task.
The path you have chosen to walk is difficult. Intensive training will prepare you physically for the demands of the Order. Meditation will teach you to channel the power of the Force. To truly understand the way of the Jedi, you must open your mind to knowledge.
In other words, I am good with stuff that is local and Dutch is illogical.
Jedi is never alone. Others in the Order will always stand by you. You and Bastila share a special bond.
No comment about anything Dutch, because I have no experience in that.
The way of the Jedi is difficult.
Well,
it requires great discipline.
Log I call.
Though you are a mere apprentice, your potential is unlimited, and your progress amazing. In all my years, I have never seen one who has mastered the initial training so quickly. You have done in weeks what many cannot do in years. I am honored to welcome you fully into the Jedi Order. Soon your apprenticeship will end, and you will be granted the title of Padawan, the lowest rank of those within the Jedi Order. Yet first you must prove yourself worthy.
What must I do to prove myself?
In the traditions and customs of our Order, as handed down from master to pupil for 1,000 generations, you must successfully complete 3 tests before you earn your place among the Jedi.
I'm ready for the first test, Master.
These tests will see if you have truly mastered the training you have been given, both mental and physical. Upon completing these tests, you will pass from apprentice to Padawan and join in the ranks of the Jedi. First, I will test your knowledge of the Jedi Code. These tenets must always guide your actions. In everything you do, you must always be conscious of their wisdom. You must prove you have a Jedi's understanding of the code. Return when you feel you are ready for this challenge.
I see something in the recommended channels on Twitch here. A channel called Jelty, Jelty. The name of their stream with 5.4 thousand people watching is I'm Only Sleeping. I wonder if that person is just streaming them sleeping and almost 6,000 people are watching. What the fuck is wrong with humanity? There's a bunch of fucking weirdos out there. At least you have normal weirdos like myself, Biggles, Mara, stuff playing video games on here. But sleeping and making people watch you, that's just fucking weird.
Greetings, young apprentice. Have you come seeking knowledge of the past? Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, or so they say. As a chronicler of the Academy here on Dantooine, I feel it is my duty to share the history of our order with the newly initiated. Unfortunately, our recent history is one of tragedy and bloodshed. The Mandalorian Wars, the fall of Revan and Malak, the rise of the Sith. There are important lessons to be learned from these events, if we do not wish to repeat the mistakes of our past.
I'm eager to learn, Master Dark.
Of course, I could not tell you the entire history of our
But
order.
about my brother said about me being racist, the way he meant was right. I am white, and between the age of 14 and 24, I fought 4 to 5 times a week, but I have never fought a colored person, so he said it wasn't treating them as equals.
Was defeated, but the war left both the Republic and our own order severely weakened. For 20 years we struggled to rebuild, trying to erase the scars of the terrible conflict.
I'm just gonna leave it at that, Kitty Bear. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, so. And everyone's free to do what they want, so. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is how I see things. For me personally, if it doesn't break my leg, pick my pocket, or infringe on my rights as an American, go for it. I don't care. Go do whatever makes you happy. What does this have to do with Revenant Malak?
All things in time. You shall learn that history is an intricate weaving of many events. No one thing can be understood without the proper context. 20 years ago, the Mandalorians, aware that the Republic was in a weakened state, began conquering small worlds on the Outer Rim. They were careful to choose only planets outside the Republic's jurisdiction. After much debate, the Senate chose not to intervene. As long as the Mandalorians avoided planets that were members of the Republic itself, there would be no retaliation.
This sounds like a big mistake. Yeah.
Well, you can hardly blame the Republic. The memory of war was fresh in everyone's mind. Nobody was eager to relive the horrors in a campaign against the Mandalorians. But in the end, it was unavoidable. The Mandalorians stockpiled resources from their conquered worlds, preparing for massive assault. 7 years ago, they launched a simultaneous attack in 3 separate sectors of Republic space. The Senate had no choice but to retaliate with the entire Republic fleet. The Mandalorian Wars had begun.
Ah, he meant it as a joke. Okay. Yeah. Went completely over my head. It went completely over my libertarian head. Did the Jedi join in?
The Republic petitioned the Jedi Council for aid, but there were many factors to consider before we allowed ourselves to be drawn into
at times, Kitty Bear, I can be a little dense sometimes. Sometimes something that's obvious to some person can go right over my head. I was a natural blonde when I was a little kid, so. Not that that's any defense for being stupid, but that's the only thing I have was I was a blonde.
Revan was a brilliant military leader, and the Republic fleet began to win victory after victory. 4 years ago, the Mandalorians surrendered unconditionally.
So Revan did the right thing.
No one is denying that Revan was one of the keys to defeating the Mandalorians. But something happened out there on the Outer Rim. Instead of returning after the war's end, the ships under Revan's command went deep into unexplored space. They claimed to be searching for the last remnants of the Mandalorian fleet. All contact was lost. For many months, it was assumed some great disaster had befallen the entire fleet. Everyone thought they were dead. There were unsubstantiated rumors of Revan and Malak being seen on a number of different planets during these months, scattered sightings that were never confirmed.
I got a blonde joke for you. What do you call it when my stepsister dyes her hair blonde? Matching hair color with her IQ level. That's actually pretty good. Where did they disappear to?
They simply went far beyond the edges of Republic space.
What do you call it when blonde colors her hair other than blonde?
3 years ago, Revan and Malak
AI.
invasion fleet. Revan had assumed the title of Sith Lord. The hero had become a conqueror.
Artificial intelligence, yeah. Except for my hair just naturally got darker over time. And when I was in high school, I would constantly dye it blonde again. Until one day when like a couple days before I started working retail at the store that I still work at to this day, I went through the interview process with my natural hair color, then I dyed my hair black. So when I started working at the store, I started with black hair, which they did not see through the interview process. And I got some weird looks from the very beginning working for that company. So, and my reasoning for dyeing my hair black was, my hair's just getting darker naturally on its own, so fuck it. I'll speed the process. So, my hair is dark now, but if I go outside in the sun, it goes blonde over time. Well, to this day, I don't like having long hair, so I generally shave my head quite often. So, And that's not something that Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is ever going to show you. His head. So. I prefer not having hair on my head. It just feels better to me. Being bald and whatnot. Otherwise, I don't mind this stuff here, so. I think I'm weird. But I'm perfectly fine with it. Where did Revan get the ships for the Sith fleet?
Some of the ships in the Sith fleet are those
I don't need to shave. I am going bald over time. As am I, because my hairline is receding as well, so. Because I'm 37 at this point.
We cannot explain. It seems impossible to have created it in such a short time, yet we cannot deny its existence. The source of the Sith.
That reminds me of jokes that my brother and I made about ourselves for breaking rocks on YouTube. It's obvious why SJWs hate us. We're both straight white males. We're both in our 30s. We're both attracted to women. My brother's attracted to black girls, which does not matter. But, hey, some guys love chocolate, so. And that's perfectly okay. So what happened next?
For 2 years, the Sith were all but invincible. Fortunately, Bastila and her battle meditation allowed the Republic to...
I do need to shave, because my hair keeps coming back in, so, yeah.
Bastila was with the strike team that tried to capture Revan.
And eventually it gets long enough for me to go, it feels like there's bugs crawling on my ears, time to shave.
Malak has stepped in and assumed the mantle of Dark Lord for himself, though he's far from Revan's equal in strategy or tactics. Still, his fleet continues to grow in both ships and soldiers. If we do not find some way to stop the Sith soon, Malak will overwhelm us with sheer numbers.
I never cared what color a person is and what a person says. I'm all about how a person acts. To me, it's about the person's character and how they act. So I completely agree with you, Kitty. So that's another thing. I love cats. Meow. Anyway. But yeah, I completely agree with you. The worst thing you could do is judge a car's engine by its paint job, if you will. Which is a line from a Tom MacDonald song, by the way. Which I believe the song is called This House. I believe that's the song that line is from. What can I learn from Revan's history?
Revan's tale shows us how even the greatest of Jedi can fall to the dark side. You must always be on guard against the evil that dwells within you. Think hard upon this.
And I personally don't judge a car's engine by its paint job. I judge a car's engine by the fact, is it running? In other words, in the case of human beings here, are they breathing? Yes? We're good to go. I will think on this, Master Dork.
May the Force be with you.
Good evening, apprentice. I trust your training goes well.
My training is progressing quite well, Master.
I have faith that you will achieve the rank of Padawan soon. Master Jar is most impressed with your progress. May the Force be with you, apprentice.
I see you insist on wandering the halls of our enclave when you should be busy studying your lessons.
I'm trying to do that. I seek knowledge of the Jedi Codemaster.
You do not know the Jedi Code? Without knowledge of those doctrines, all your training will be for naught. All Jedi must know the Code.
Its tenets are the fundamental teachings of our order. There is no emotion. There's peace. There's no ignorance. There's knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no death. Learn these truths, apprentice, or we shall all regret the decision to accept you into the order.
Is that the truth, Master, or your truth? I'm just curious here.
Greetings, my young pupil. Your progress has been most remarkable so far. Are you here to continue your training in the ways of the Jedi?
Besides, I'm considered the worst person in my town. My neighbors fear me more than each other. They call the cops on me when I make too much noise. What could I possibly say to that kitty bear? Here is why it's funny. One, neighbors and third gen. One neighbor is third gen Nazi. The other neighbor is a former child soldier from Africa. Here's an interesting question then. What country are you living in? And if you don't want to answer that, I completely understand.
Soon your apprenticeship will end, and you will be granted
The Netherlands.
the lowest rank of those within the Jedi Order.
Well, that's interesting then.
First, you must prove yourself worthy in the traditions and customs of our order, as handed down from master to pupil.
I'm willing to bet you could probably guess what country I'm from by the things that I've said so far. I'm ready for the test, Master.
These tests will see if you have truly mastered the training you have been given, both mental and physical. Upon completing these tests, you will pass from apprentice to Padawan and join in the ranks of the Jedi. First, I will test your knowledge of the Jedi Code. These tenets must always guide your actions. In everything you do, you must always be conscious of their wisdom. You must now prove you have a Jedi's understanding of the Code by completing these fundamental precepts of our order. There is no emotion.
There is peace.
There is no ignorance. There is no passion. There is no chaos. There is no death. You have learned your studies well, apprentice. It will not be long before you are a full member of our order.
I talk with both. They don't talk to each other, but when I make noise, they think I'm having a psychopathic episode.
The lightsaber is the traditional weapon of our
Well,
order.
you're from the USA,
It is a symbol of a
I'm
Jedi's
guessing.
skill, dedication,
Yep.
and authority. And each lightsaber is as individual as the Jedi.
That is...
The blade is made of pure
How did you know?
focused by polished crystals in the hilt. As the second test,
Yeah.
each Jedi
I was born and raised here.
with his own hands. And now it is your
Currently live in Minnesota, moving to Arizona next spring to get the hell out of this blue state. Plus, my family all live in Arizona now anyway, so I kind of want to be close to them. If for no other reason other than holidays and birthdays. Oh, I gotta go choose a lightsaber crystal still. Fuck.
Ah, you have come, young apprentice, at Master Zar's bidding. He sees great promise in you, as do I. The time has come for you to choose the color of your lightsaber. This color also reflects your demeanor and position within the Order.
What color? Let's go with positions.
Blue is the color of the Jedi Guardian. This Jedi
I've been living in the same town for 43 years. I was born here when I was born here. I'm 45 years old. I was born in the northeast part of the United States. I've lived largely between Chicago, Illinois, and Minnesota for most of my life. Because eventually my family moved from the northeast to Chicago when I was about 1. And I've been living here in Minnesota for over 20 years. And it's time to move on. So, time to move to a place with better weather in the winter. And, as it turns out, in Arizona, a place that'll kill you in the summer. If you set foot outside. I don't get living in Arizona, but I'm going because that's where my family is, so.
Indeed. We shall see. I will now ask you questions, and your responses will indicate which class you lean most towards. A woman and her small child are beset by a desperate-looking group of thugs. They're menacing her with weapons, and she screams to you for help. What do you do?
Help them flee, attack the thugs, stop the thugs, and find out why they're attacking her. Kitty Bear, what would you do if a woman and her small child are beset by a desperate-looking group of thugs? They are menacing her with weapons, and she screams to you for help. What would you do? Kitty Bear, would you help them flee, attack the thugs, or stop the thugs and find out why they're attacking her? I lived in another town 7 miles from here for 2 years. Had to move after. Neighbors shot one of my windows with a gas pistol, and I, in anger, shot him in the head with my BB gun. I'm sorry for laughing at that, but that sounds funny to me. Well, that sounds funny from the aspect of you shooting them in the head with a BB gun. Beat the thugs not asking questions. Then we're gonna go with that.
Indeed. Very well. On to the next question. You are in combat with a Dark Jedi allied with the Sith. There is a pause in the combat. What do you do?
Attack him again. Find out why he turned to the dark side and try to turn him. Try to see a weakness in his technique. What do you think here, Kitty Bear? Attack the Dark Jedi that we're fighting. Find out why he or she turned to the dark side and turn them. Or try to. Try to see a weakness in their technique. The middle one. Find out why they turned to the dark side and try to turn them. That's what I was thinking too.
Yes, I suspected as much. Now for the next question. There is a locked door, and your goal lies on the other side. What do you do?
The only reason that I found the BB gun funny earlier, Kitty Bear, is because I had a high school friend. I'm just going to use his real first name because I haven't seen him in years. His name was Justin. Go through the window. But Justin had a BB gun when we were in high school. And we were so stupid back then because we would shoot each other with his BB gun just for fun. So, knock. Knock on the door like Obi-Wan. But my friend Justin shot me in the back of the thigh with his BB gun. And in his infinite wisdom, he put his BB gun down on the ground and started running away. I pick it up, I shoot him. I don't actually aim, I just shoot from the hip with it. I shot him in the butthole with his own BB gun. So that's my history with BB guns. I got shot in the thigh and I shot my friend's asshole with one. My dad shot me with the BB gun and my brother shot me as well. Your family sounds very interesting, Kitty Bear. But yeah, we're gonna knock on the door like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I am beginning to see a pattern here, Apprentice. I have a feeling about what you would be best at. But first, the final question. You are the head of an enclave on a contested world. The Dark Jedi have infiltrated and are causing unrest across the planet. What do you do?
Hunt them down, try to lure them into a trap, coordinate with the planetary government to identify the infiltrators. That sounds like way too passive to do. I feel like luring them into a trap is a good idea. What about you, Kitty Bear? My brother and I were shooting a full can of cola with a BB gun thing. Only had yards of range, so at 8 yards it wasn't able to break the can. Trap is fine with me.
Yes, I thought as much. As I suspected, you would be most suitable as a Jedi Consular. Which color and path do you believe yourself most suited to, Apprentice?
Well, amongst Jedi, since I can't have an orange lightsaber here, usually as a Jedi, my lightsaber is usually yellow, so for the Jedi Sentinel. Because that 10 yards, yeah. Because I usually, in this game, focus on like many skills and abilities, not just use of the Force or just the lightsaber. But at the same time, yeah. For me personally, it's yellow, so.
Here is a yellow crystal for your lightsaber. Go speak to Master.
Despite what we got on the test, which was a Jedi Consular. Skills. So, we gotta put all of these into Persuade now. And fuck mind. Throw a lightsaber for now.
Good evening, apprentice. I trust your training goes.
Oh, fuck. I forgot. I gotta go build the fucking lightsaber first. Fuck. It's been a long time since I played this. It's been like 8 months since I did one of these. Oh, I gotta talk to the guy. Fuck.
Good. Now that you have selected your crystal, we shall begin the construction.
But at some point I got bored and hip-fired the BB gun and the can burst open, spraying my brother and me. Yep, that sounds familiar. Stuff like that was done between my friend, myself, and my younger brother actually started joining us at one point too. And there's my piss yellow lightsaber. I'm bringing the Sentinels back, like Justin Timberlake was trying to bring Stuxy back.
You have done extremely well in constructing your lightsaber, apprentice. Your crystal seems to have been set perfectly.
Ever got fired from a job for sexual harassment? I have, but all I did was answer the question she asked me. No, I have not. Fact, I don't remember ever getting fired from a job ever, actually, Kitty Bear. If I've ever stopped working at a place, it was because I quit. As far as I can ever remember, because in high school I worked at McDonald's. I quit working there to work at the electric company that my dad worked at with him. I also worked for the newspaper downtown with my dad when he worked there as well. I quit all three of those places. I used to work at a place on the East End that loaded trains and trucks with like stuff to ship out to the rest of the country. I quit working there as well, and I currently have worked in retail for 16 years. So yeah, I have never been fired from a single job that I've ever had. The Dutch word to finish is the same for coming. And my female boss asked, "Are you going to finish today?" And I replied with, "A little help from you, yes I will." In my opinion, that's not sexual harassment. Because it's not your fault that the Dutch language is what it is. I suddenly realize you're right. The Dutch language is more idiotic than English. You are 100% right, my friend. I take back what I said about my language, even though it's still gibberish. I can find crystals on Dantooine.
It is a rumor only. I do not know if there's any truth in it, but you must learn first to use your lightsaber and take care when drawing it. Your lightsaber identifies you as a member of the Jedi Order. With such recognition comes honor and respect, and the attentions of dangerous enemies. The Sith and Dark Jedi will seek to destroy you, apprentice. And you must prove yourself worthy in battle against a foe who also wields a lightsaber. Are you ready to face the final challenge, apprentice?
I'm ready for the final trial, Master.
For every Jedi, the threat of the dark side.
Nor did she think that, but everyone in the room was laughing and she didn't get what happened. When explained, she laughed, but when she told her boss about what happened, that fucker fired me. Well, then, that boss you had was an asshole.
Meditation by the Jedi is now tainted. A wave of darkness perverts the region around it. The Kath-hounds in the area have become savage and ruthless. They have become a threat to the settlers. A threat the Jedi have promised to stop. The Kath-hounds are but a symptom of the true problem. You must journey into the grove and confront the true source of the darkness. That is your task.
That reminds me of at work. My team lead at the store is also a cool guy, and he and I have a lot of the same opinions about pretty much everything. But his boss, not so much. So, with him, I can make jokes that he finds funny. I could never make the same jokes with her. with his boss. So I completely understand about having a boss that has no sense of humor. I just like word puns. A lot of words have double meanings. Yes, they do. And I love every last one of them. So when I say that you can't offend me when it comes to word puns and dirty words, you can't. My stepmother doesn't get word puns and jokes either. Oh, trust me. My mom, who lives in Arizona, she gets every last word pun and joke, and she finds a lot of it funny too. My mom is a pretty cool lady. But then again, she would have had to have been. She was married to my dad. And my dad's jokes were cheesy as fuck. And I love cheesy pickup lines too. Evidently, so did my mom. Or so does my mom, I should say. Do you have no other guidance?
I can say no more. Some things you must see for yourself. None of the other Jedi at the Academy are permitted to help you in this task. But remember this, my young apprentice. A Jedi acts with patience and care, and those on the dark path are not always lost forever. The dark side still taints the ancient grove. Your lessons cannot continue until the spreading corruption of the dark side has been stopped. This is your task, apprentice. May the Force be with you.
I think I am going to do this with the stream at this point, Kitty Bear. I'm going to keep going for like another 35 minutes or so. And if no one goes live that I follow, that I'm fine with rating, because I'm not going to rate Xbox. That's fucking outrageous to do. And I don't want to raid Miss Click, because she has like 300 people watching. That's a raid of 3 people is not going to mean anything to her. So, like anyone from our community, if they go live, I will raid them. If not, then I will call it in about 30 minutes, so a little before 3 o'clock Central Time here in the United States. So, in about 30 odd some minutes or so. So we'll see how far we can get in about 30 minutes here. Or less, depending if anyone goes live anytime soon. Here on Twitch. Let me switch my armor first to Davik's Warsuit to better protect myself here. Thank you. I kind of need to come and go as I please, droid. There's a pun for you, Kitty Bear. I need to come and go as I please. When in the store, ask the person there if anything there can be bought. If she says yes, ask her how much she will cost. The only person at the store I feel the most comfortable with doing that with is my boss, my team lead. So, because I know he will find that funny. So. Yeah. And he will be mildly amused to go, well, no, knowing my boss, he will probably give me a price as a joke of how much he will cost. I kind of want to do that joke on him now. I did that line many times in the stores here. 8 out of 10 times I got hit in the head. Yeah.
Are you a Jedi? How long can you people continue to sit by and claim you protect us? Protectors? Ha! You sit in your enclave safe from the Mandalorians while we suffer.
What are you talking about, dude?
Those Mandalorian brutes have killed my daughter. They came to our land demanding our livelihood. But Ilsa, my Ilsa, said no.
Mary Mayhem just went live a second ago. She's playing Legend of Zelda. So let me open up a second page to monitor her stream to see what's going on. Okay, the stream is still starting soon, so for now I'm just gonna ignore her at the moment. They killed her?
There was nothing I could do. Too many of the Mandalorians and their Duros allies. I've come here to ask you, please, Master Jedi, stop these raiders and get revenge for my daughter.
I'll protect you and your fellow settlers, sir.
I will give you all I have. Just please, annihilate them from the face of this planet.
Check in with Mary, see if she started yet. Nope. Not yet. But when she does, yeah, I'm gonna raid Mary Mayhem here at the end of my stream, so. Are you down for watching Mary Mayhem? Are you familiar with Mary Mayhem there, Kitty Bear? Yes, I am a member of her YouTube. Alright. So, with that said, soon as she's doing her thing, and it doesn't say stream starting soon anymore, then we will go ahead and raid Mary then. So we'll be the two of us jumping into raid Mary Mayhem, who will be playing The Legend of Zelda. It looks like, but which one? She's gonna be playing Wind Waker. Okay, that's cool. So I will have the volume turned up on her stream to monitor when I hear anything from her. So as soon as I hear her voice, then I'm gonna hit the raid button there at that point. Alright, I got that typed in. Just gonna be waiting for that. Did you know cops are all really dirty? They are police. Oh dear. That's good, man. It said poo lice. As a kid, learning English, making my teacher laugh. Poo lice. That makes me laugh too. Well, I do appreciate the fact that you learned English, Kitty Bear. So, because that means you and I are able to communicate together. So I'm so very glad that you did learn my language. But yeah. So all we're gonna do is just wait for Mary to actually finally get her shit started. At this point. So for anyone who's watching this on YouTube, this is actually the end of the video, so you don't have to watch to the rest of this. So, because this is coming to the end, so. But on your way out on YouTube, because this will be ported over to YouTube, hit the like and subscribe while you're on your way out, guys. Thank you so much. She is live, I think. She popped up on my list. Yeah, it's just a matter of her showing up on screen, because on her stream it still says stream is starting soon. Because some Twitch streamers just randomly raid without checking the other person's YouTube link. There's a link at the bottom of my channel's page here on Twitch to my gaming channel on YouTube. So just scroll down and you'll be able to find that there. For me, yes. And then, as soon as you're on my gaming channel on YouTube, there are links to other channels that are associated with me or that I work on from there on YouTube on other channels as well. So, she finally started. So, with that being said, we'll raid Mary Mayhem now. Thank you for being here with me, Kitty Bear, and I'll see you on the other side on Mary's stream. And we'll enjoy what she is going to be playing. So, with that being said, I'll see you over there, my friend. And thank you so much for being here with me. And all of that. And here we go.